Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm in a Mercedes CLK 270 CDI. This is the W209 chassis, and as you can see we've got a fault code stored in this P1189 inlet port shutoff M55 inlet port shutoff motor. Now the complaint for this one is the car is constantly in limp mode with lack of power, and doesn't come out of limp mode. This fault code won't actually clear at the moment at all. As soon as you clear it, it comes straight back in to the system. So what I'm going to do is show you in this video how I managed to get around the problem. Now the shut-off motor is located on the bottom of the inlet manifold, and what it does, it actually moves the swirl flaps in the inlet manifold. There's a linkage under here, you can just about see it there, and that is controlled by the shut-off motor. Now the linkage is detached, you can just see there, from its swirl flaps. So really this car needs the inlet manifold removed, the swirl flaps removed, and a blanking kit fitted. There's other videos showing you how to fit those, or a complete new manifold. Now, being that the motor is shown as a fault, that's going to need to be either replaced, or I found a little workaround from information I found on the internet. And in this video I'm just going to prove I can clear that fault code with this little modification, just so I know that I can get away with removing this manifold at a later date and changing the blanking plugs. Now guys, make sure you don't just leave it, that linkage there, swinging in the breeze. You do need to deal with it at some point. You do need to get the manifold off, remove the swirl flaps, because if your linkage is attached, it's likely that your swirl flaps, are in bad condition. But this video purely is to do with bypassing the motor. So accessing the motor is quite difficult. I just wanted to remove the plug off it so I could prove the point. So really you could do with removing some parts off the inlet manifold, possibly the power steering reservoir, fuel filter, and eventually you'll get to the motor underneath there. Now I did manage to get my hand up underneath the manifold round here and get to the plug and unplug it. Now you can just about see the plug here, and I've managed to pull it out underneath the manifold and just drop it down the sides here. Now trying to get the camera in here is a bit tricky, but this is the plug, and as you can see I've fitted a resistor in the plug. What this is doing is fooling the ECU into thinking that the motor isn't open circuit, and it is working. So if I try and do a close-up here, you can see the two terminals that you need to put the resistor in. So the one nearest the square edge of the plug and the one in the centre. Here's a better view of the plug. So that's the resistor. I'm going to put the value of the resistor you need in the description. Now, it doesn't matter which way around you put the resistor as long as it goes into those two terminals. So the one in the middle and the one near the square edge of the plug. So I fitted this in there. I actually will probably solder it in eventually, but I just fitted it loosely for the time being, just to prove the point. And we'll check the fault memory in a minute just to see if it's made any difference to it. Now guys, these resistors are pence, they're pennies on eBay or Maplins or anywhere like that. So it's a very, very sort of cheap workaround. You might even be able to buy an emulator box which will plug straight into the plug. I'm sure someone's developed that by now on eBay for not a lot of money, and you can plug straight into that plug and it will do the same job. Now I did manage to get my hand up the side of the inlet manifold there, just to the right of the manifold. There's like a little metal bracket, you can get your hand up there. I wouldn't recommend doing it like that, guys, and certainly don't do it on a hot engine because you probably get your hand trapped. But yeah, probably best to move, I would say. Take the EGR valve off, just here at the front, that's quite simple to get off. And fuel filter, the little power steering reservoir, maybe the EGR cooler, just to make it easier. to get to. I think I was lucky really because the plug wasn't very tight on the motor itself. But yeah, this is a 270 CDI, but you can do it on other CDI Mercedes as well. I think most of them carried a swirl flat motor. Okay, so it's time to plug in again and see if this has made any difference to it. Now, I was using the launch, but I think probably a similar description for most of the other diagnostic machines out there. So we'll connect the launch to it. We'll try and read the fault codes. Just connect again, and as you can see, there's no fault codes in the system. We managed to clear that, and now we're making full revs. We're revving a lot more than it was previous. Fault code hasn't returned. Before, it returned pretty much immediately. There you go, no fault stored. And no lights on the dashboard either. So what I'll do, I'll just take it for a quick road test and I'll come back to you and let you know how it went. There we go. We've got absolutely clear fault memory. So that's good. So guys, yeah, trick works. So you could probably get away without changing the inlet manifold completely. You can do away with that motor and yeah, blank off, buy a blanking kit, probably available on eBay, to blank off your holes in your inlet manifold. So now we know this will work, we'll carry on and do the rest of it. Thank you guys for watching, we'll see you in the next one.